was, I think it was called, let me see, I have my paperwork. I think it's a laparoscopic myomectomy. I think that's how you pronounce it. But what that means is they went through my belly button. They open your belly button. They use, it's like a robot they use to control. The robot is basically getting cutting the fibers out, pulling it through your belly button, and they sew you back up. You have no scars, no marks, no nothing. You can't even tell. So I was like, yeah, that would be perfect for me. So I went through with that. That was my first myomectomy surgery for fibroids in 2017. So how I get to the second surgery is this. I actually just one day in 2020, it was around August 2020, I just started bleeding out of nowhere. Now, the first time I had the fibroids, I wasn't bleeding. I probably was bleeding a little heavier during my period, but it wasn't like this. This was actually when I wasn't supposed to have my period. I was on a plane when this happened. I'll never forget this. And blood just started rushing from me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I know that I'm not bleeding. This is not supposed to be like my period, none of that. And luckily I was on my way home, because I'm just sitting on the plane like, oh my gosh, I don't have nothing on me, because I was not planning to be on my period, none of that. So I go to the bathroom on the plane. Luckily, a flight attendant had a pad. I had a tampon. I had a super one, thank God, only one. But when I tell y'all that super tampon got filled up in like 15 minutes, I was so scared, because I'm like, what is going on? Like, literally just pouring out of me. Fast forward, I get home. First thing I do is call the doctor, because I'm like, hell no. But I did hear stories from family members that they had to, that has happened to them because of the fibroids. I just didn't experience it until the second time, which I had no clue. It just came out of the blue. So, I didn't know what to do. When I called my doctor, I did have an OBGYN in Las Vegas, so when I did call, they just told me to take birth control. They were going to give me a birth control to stop it. I'll be fine. So I said, well, I kind of don't F with birth control, but we could do a Mirena, because I'm not good at taking it every day, like the pills. So the doctor ended up trying to tell me to take the pills and I'll be fine. Come to find out, I missed a couple days, and that messed me up. Like, the bleeding and all that continued because I wasn't having the hormones in me 24/7. So he did exactly what I told him to do, because I got tired of going through that. I went straight to his office and I said, you're going to give me that Mirena, because we're not about to play no games. I need a hormone that is going to control the bleeding 24/7. So that's what he did. So after he gave me the Mirena, he did say once he puts it in, I'll instantly stop bleeding. And I did, you guys. I did. It stopped the bleeding 100% right when he put it in. So I was happy, but I knew that this was just a band-aid over a wound. It wasn't something that was fixed. So, but at that point, I just needed the bleeding to stop, because literally I was bleeding for weeks, like just pouring out blood, and that was way unusual for me. So, but like I said, other people that I know have had that happen. It just didn't happen to me the first time. So this is August 2020. September 2020, they do a ultrasound, and the ultrasound in September ended up being about, my uterus grew all the way to like 5 months pregnant again. And so I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, once again, I'm putting a hormone in my body. Now my fibroids are growing, because even when I was bleeding, my fibroids were not that big. My uterus was not that big. So it just let me think in my head, like I said, about the injection that I was getting in my spine after my car accident, that it's the hormones in these medications and things that they're giving that are causing my fibroids to grow big. Because you could have fibroids, they'd be small and not bother you. But my uterus dang sure was not no 5 months pregnant. So I was like, it gotta be the Mirena. It has to be, because it was literally a couple weeks later and my uterus is that big. That's crazy. So my doctor was telling me it wasn't that, but I feel that it is. So after that, I'm starting to feel like, okay, Larissa, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about the situation, in the long run? Because you can't be on the birth control, and I don't like birth control like that anyway to be in my body. So I called the doctor who did my first surgery in Los Angeles, and he basically said I can get an MRI. And just to remind y'all, remember in 2020 is when COVID started. So when COVID started, you know, a lot of the hospitals weren't doing surgeries. A lot of them were, you know, had to wait, especially Los Angeles. They were like shut down almost the whole time. So this is September now. I had the MRI done in December, around December, and that is only because they weren't allowed to let, you know, patients in. Y'all know how it goes. Like, it was so much going on with COVID that the appointments for that took forever. So I had the MRI. Come to find out, I had fibroids that were so big he couldn't do the surgery he did the first time, which was through the belly button. So the second surgery that I had was called an open myomectomy, which is like a C-section, but without delivering a baby. He's just opening me up, taking the fibroids out, and sewing me back up. So like I told y'all, I'm not really with C-sections, and I've never had one before. So for me, I was nervous, and I was scared because I've never had a C-section. And I'm like, be hearing stories. So I'm just kind of like, dang, like, I wish I wouldn't have to get this done. But at this point, my uterus is way too big and I'm too cute to have a big, fat tummy. So we're going to have to get rid of this. So I made the appointment in February. Because of COVID, I had to wait for them to have openings. So February is when I got the news in 2021. And I had my surgery May 5th, which is the open myomectomy. So you guys, the healing process with this was crazy. Like, I'm still resting, by the way. I am 3.5 weeks post-op and I'm feeling really good today. This is like the second time I was able to put makeup on my face and do things on my own without nobody helping me and stuff like that. So I'm really happy about that I'm healing well. I healed well the first time and I'm healing well the second time. It's just this time, it's like I had to be very, very careful because of an incision. But the good thing is where they sewed me, you can't even tell that I was cut open. So I thank God, like, I'm not going to have a scar. I'm not going to have none of that. So that's good. They did a really good job with sewing me up and having it look like my skin instead of like, you know, like you've been sliced open or something. So I'm happy. And I think the questions that I got on Instagram was just if there's a scar. No, I don't, thank God. If I had issues with recovering. I didn't have issues, but I wasn't ready for it. Was literally like having a baby and having a C-section. And I sat here thinking to myself, y'all, for this last 3.5 weeks, like, I don't know how women who have C-sections carry their babies, do things, because you're not allowed to carry anything heavy. You're not allowed to do a lot of things at all. Like, I'm over here struggling, don't have no newborn baby. I could not imagine how a woman would feel having a C-section. But what I will tell you guys, after that first surgery, if I wanted kids again, I would have to have a C-section. I had all my kids natural, vaginally, if you want to say that. Never had a C-section until this second surgery. So for me, if I want kids, I can have them, but I have to wait, or I have to have a C-section instead of how I had all 3 of my kids. So that's kind of like a bummer for me. I'm kind of like, dang, like, I wish I could have my kids, you know, push them out. You know, you heal faster. The healing process is way easier. You can carry your baby. It's way easier, y'all. Trust me. But I will be doing a question and answer on fibroids so women can share. Hey y'all, so my camera ended up dying, y'all, but we are towards the end of the video and my journey, y'all. So I want to leave you guys with this information. If you decide to go through any surgery regarding uterine fibroids, matter of fact, any surgery, make sure they are a specialist, not just any OBGYN, you guys. Anybody can be a regular OBGYN, get degrees, whatever that is, but make sure they have multiple degrees in other things. Like my doctor, he has multiple degrees. He's not just an OBGYN. He specializes in this. He has multiple. So look for that. Make sure when you visit with them, you're comfortable with them. Make sure they have your best interests at heart. Make sure they have multiple options for you, not just hysterectomy like we were speaking of earlier in this video, because then they are a scam. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will put exclusive videos of me waking up after surgery, talking, how I felt at that moment, all that good stuff, and a picture that the doctor sent me of the fibroids that he actually took out of my body, y'all. So I will post that at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look out for all my future ventures, y'all, on my Instagram at Larissa the One. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I love y'all. Bye. Hey y'all, this is your girl. I felt led to share my story with you guys on fibroids. I've been having these issues for years. I'm actually done with my second procedure I've had over the years, getting rid of them for the time being. I'll be sharing deets on that. I just really felt led to share my story because, you know, it's an issue in a lot of us Black women. And I think very informative on this issue. I would like to share it with you ladies, and you know, I know a lot of you have been worried about them, but I'm here to share my journey. Stay tuned, ladies. Love y'all.